It was the 1990s, a big show in a small town off I-75 in Georgia. They were called the biggest cocks in the henhouse. But things have changed since then. It's been 30 years, and they finally found a home here, like everyone else, doing a podcast. It's Erica and Mark, the phone call podcast thing.
Hey,
is this phone working here? I'm having issues today.
yeah. It's are you getting Francine too?
Yeah, is that what it is? Is there a hurricane that's messing things up?
Yes.
Now the weather here in Florida is fine.
Actually, we're right now as we recording this on September 11th at 4:30 my time. Right as Francine was coming on shore as a cat too, and ready for this? You won't be surprised at this, but you ready for this?
Yes.
Guess where Mike went to?
Oh, Mike who? Who's Mike? Tell me who Mike is.
Weatherman Mike.
Oh, Weatherman Mike. He was in
Mike's
New
Weathers
Orleans.
page.
Yeah, he's in.
He went to Homa, and Homa is southwest of New Orleans, getting closer to the coast, where all the Cajun people live and things like that. Right?
Okay. Yep.
All right. So all along, this always it just should not amaze me because we can't say some of the things that we've run across in our career about weather, but they keep, and to this day right now, if you look at the national weather thing, the middle of the cone, it still says it's going to go up just to the east of Baton Rouge, right?
Right.
And so if you follow that, where Mike should be right now is Morgan City. And they kept saying it's going to come across at Morgan City, which is a little further to the west. Mike decided, I don't know why, maybe he just couldn't get to Morgan City because those roads will flood instantly before the hurricane gets there because it's all swamp. You know,
look, man, all of Louisiana is like a giant bowl. So
yeah, and it's all marshland.
Yeah.
So he decides to stay at Homa, and guess where the hurricane's coming across that?
Homa.
Oh, yeah. So, with a cat too. So he's getting a good show right now.
So have you been watching the Weather Channel? And if so, where's Jim Cantori?
I didn't. No, I have not been watching the Weather Channel. First of all, I don't have cable TV, so I've been following my friend Jim Sine,
right,
which is a weatherman that was in Fort Myers,
who's in New Orleans now. Then, of course,
New Orleans, yep.
We've got Mike's weather page that is right here in Florida with me on the West Coast,
and he came and he drove to hunt this because I kept telling my wife, I said, they keep showing the eye like the line, but if you watch the future radar, it keeps jogging to the right, and we're going to get this thing.
You can't look at the line. The line is just the center of where the left and right. They should quit putting the line in there.
Yes.
That's very, very deceptive.
Because we're out of the cone.
Yeah.
Or as the weather calls it now, the bubble.
You know what, though? It seems Fort Myers was out of the cone 2 years ago before they got that giant hurricane that completely drowned Naples. So you can't trust any of that.
So, I saw where the future radar shows that somewhere between, about an hour from now or an hour and a half, and then we'll have to ride it out till about 10 o'clock of the tighter band circles of the hurricane.
So as
we'll be in a Cat 1 hurricane here.
So as people who are listening to this right now, you could be dead by now because you live in New Orleans.
Yes.
And New Orleans and hurricanes, you guys have got a bad history.
Yeah, I could be gone. This could be my last show and I don't even know it.
So don't go up into the attic. We learned that from Katrina. Remember that?
Yes.
A lot of those people said, I'm going to go up in the attic and hide up in the attic. And how did that work out? They're all dead now.
Yes. You can't go in the attic.
Nope.
And there's no sense going to try to find shelter now.
Yeah, that's not a thing. You guys live in a fishbowl.
No. And we're, by the way, we're under a curfew now that started at 4 o'clock. We're not even supposed to be outside.
Well, that's good. You're inside. What happens if you go outside?
I don't know. I think they just maybe scold you, or they might
shoot to kill.
I don't know.
Shoot to kill, baby.
They might throw you in your face and handcuff you.
Call it a hurricane death. It's like people who went to the hospital and, had a heart attack and died. COVID death.
Yes.
Oh, would you believe this? It is late at night, and guess what? Guess what's happening? Work is messaging me.
No, it's after hours for you. I believe that office closes at 5 for you.
I believe that they don't care. They just bother me at all times now that I have all these stations to look after. But so you keep talking, and I'm going to log in real quick and do this while I do I can do both. Watch me do both.
Okay.
I
would say that's a challenge, but it's not really a challenge.
No, first of all, while I do this, I want you to tell me, because I was going to ask you this anyway on this phone call / podcast. Why the hell aren't you leaving and getting out of the way of the hurricane? You live in New Orleans, for God's sake.
I don't leave on cat. My new philosophy is, let me go ahead and start from the beginning. This is my first hurricane now, Erica, and you know this, but you might not realize this. This is my very first hurricane that I'm not working.
Oh, I guess that's probably true. You're kind of retired now.
Yeah.
So you don't know what to do.
Normally I was on Team A, and Team A is the people that come in before the storm. So normally last night I would have spent the night at the radio station.
Right.
And then got up this morning and started doing reports and so on until we go off the air. And that was it. Now, when I was down there for Charlie, we never went off the air. And matter of fact, we were the only thing on, but there was nothing else. Not even TV was on. We were it after the aftermath of Charlie.
So you guys,
Cat 5, wasn't it?
You guys were Charlie. I don't remember if Charlie was a 4. I think it was
4.
I think it turned into a 5 right before it came up the river.
Yes. And
so, dude, that was years ago. It was like 15 years ago.
Yeah. And then I was up here. I did Laura and Delta. But I did leave for those because that was a 4. Laura was a 4. And I said, and no, actually, I didn't say that. I was going to go in. And my son says, Dad, my son and I have a very interesting relationship. If I have to knock you out,
and he probably
put
could
you
too.
over my shoulder,
yeah,
I will do that because you're not staying. And he's
a big kid.
Yes, and not only that, but he's got his mom's temper and
oh, you better not fuck with him.
So yeah, and I never seen him be worried about something. He says, I don't have a good feeling about this. Let's just go. He says Kathleen's got the house over there. And we can just go to the other side of the state and we'll have internet. You can still work. And I said, you know what? I think you're right. So we decided to call off going into the station. That was the first time I missed one. And then when I was married over here, Ida came up and I had to leave because I was still working over there and I needed power.
Yeah.
And so did my new wife. She needed power for her job. So this is the first time I've not had. So I really didn't have a plan. So I decided that Cat 1, I will stay.
Right.
Tropical storm, I will stay. Cat 1, I will stay. And I actually raised up the ante and said a Cat 2, I will stay.
All right. So that's not, and you don't go to hurricane parties anymore.
No.
That's too bad.
No. I remember I many a time Penrod's would stay open. There'd be a lot of
now you're talking
there.
about the 80s. That's a long time ago.
And we were, but so I didn't know what to do. So I decided to stick it out. And I said 3 or 4, we got to go.
So this is your first time as a non-media member going through a big storm like this. This has got to be, it's got to be kind of crazy because do you feel useless? Do you feel better about it?
Yes, I feel like I should be doing something.
Uh-huh.
And then also the other weird thing was my wife's going through this like checklist and making sure we know where all our paperworks are and stuff like that. But you need paperwork to get, if you were to leave, you need paperwork to get back in. Apparently, you need some kind of paperwork.
You don't need a driver's license just to get back in with your address on it?
To get back in. If you want to get in before everybody else.
Okay.
So you got, that's,
I can, know what? I can make you something. I have Photoshop. You want Homeland Security? I can make their letterhead real easy.
Well, I used to get a letter from the governor every
me too.
year.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
before, remember? Right
Yeah,
before
well,
the hurricane season.
we still get that. Even though we don't have news at my TV station, we get letters from the government that gives us, show this to the cop and they'll let you through.
Yeah. And
That's
they're
basically
great,
what
aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I have used them.
Yeah.
And not to be a tourist. Serious.
I was able to go back into my home early from Laura because you remember that was a Cat 4 went right over my house.
That was a bad one.
And and we were able to get right in there, even though everything was blocked off. We were able to get in, and we had to park and walk in the rest of the way. But
Do people up north that do they think you're crazy for living in Hurricane Alley?
I don't know anybody from up north.
No, I do, and people still give me shit. It's like, oh, I don't want any part of those hurricanes, and it's not that huge of a deal. The worst part, the thing that we fear the most, what people don't understand about hurricanes is the thing that we fear most is not the storm or the rising waters or the falling tree. It's the lack of air conditioning from not having power. That's what we fear the most.
Yes, I'm going to tell you, it's a big inconvenience with no power, spotty to zero cell service, and no internet.
Yeah. Yeah, we had that spotted as zero cell service for, I think, 6 days during what was the storm we had back in 2017 in Florida? Remember that one?
Yeah. What was that one?
It was the one that came
Wilma?
in. I don't remember. It's the one that came in like right in the very tip of South Florida, and it went right up the middle of Florida.
Oh, yeah, Wilma. Yeah, Wilma.
And,
that one.
yeah.
Came
My
out of
daughter-
Everglades City.
So I was living on the water. So my daughter and I had to evacuate. We went all the way up to Ocala just because it was going to be a Category 4, and the freaking police were going through my condo complex saying, please evacuate the neighborhood immediately. You're in a zone A evacuation. If you choose to not evacuate, write your social security number in Sharpie on your arm so we can identify your body. And I'm like, well, I guess I should go. I should probably go. And I was more worried about the electricity going off. That's why we left.
That was a big storm.
We got stuck. It took 5 hours to get from Tampa to Ocala, which is about 100 miles. It took 5 hours to drive up there. And then that was one of the most stressful things ever, was not driving up, was driving back. After we went through the storm, had no electricity. Fortunately, we had a generator in the house. We had a whole house generator. So we were cooking out, eating steak and shrimp and shit. We had fun, but we had no cell service, no internet, no cable TV. And you had to literally like walk up onto the top of this hill just to get 1 bar of cell service.
Yep. Yeah.
When it worked. And
I'd drive out of the parish to get 2 bars.
Yeah, it was my poor daughter. She was going on social media, like withdrawals. I almost had to get her I was like,
how old was she then?
Did you bring medicine?
Teenager?
She was probably 14. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
Oh.
I'm bored.
She was like, can we go for a walk? I'm like, no, there's like a ton of mosquitoes and it's dark. Come on, I need to get out of the house. You just want to go see if you can get cell service. Shut up, you don't know me.
It's crazy. You don't realize, but the only weather I really am afraid of, I guess you would say, is a tornado.
Yeah, especially the nighttime
because you're
ones.
warning. First of all, if it's forming above you, your warning is 0.
Right.
And then the best warning you can get is about 60 seconds. And I don't know how fast you are, but get 60 seconds to get everybody together and either get them in the tub in the middle of your house or to get them out to your tornado shelter.
So there's hope for you.
Crazy.
There's hope for you because you need to go see the new movie Twisters, which I've somehow seen it twice now. It was, let's just say that it's not really a remake of the original, and I can't tell if it's a sequel or not. Maybe it is a bit of a sequel, but it has all different people. So it's terrible. The first one was terrible in a very good way. Like every time that I see the original Twister movie with Bill Paxton, I watch it every time. With Bill
very
Paxton.
campy.
It's fantastic. This next Twister movie, or Twisters, that's out now, which I think is on pay-per-view. If you're bored during your hurricane, maybe you should pay-per-view it. It's like it was written by Gen Z and millennials strictly for Gen Z. The best. Yeah. So not only is it bad, it's that.
It's also woke.
Yeah,
It's very woke.
It's woke. It's predictable, which is all fine, but it's so cheesy and so bad. And after we saw it
Now
with
I
my
have to
daughter,
watch it now.
my daughter looked at me after we saw it and she said, "That movie is a 10 out of 10." And I'm like, "Oh my God, 10? 10? What is your scale? 1,000? If your scale is 1 to 1,000, then yes, that was a 10." Oh, but yes, you should watch it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, but
They
maybe
should make a. Did they ever make a? Did they ever make a hurricane movie?
yeah, lots of them. They're all like on the Sci-Fi Channel, and it's called Sharknado 3, where the sharks come out of the hurricane. Did you not see the Sharknado documentaries?
No, I've never. I've heard of Sharknado, the
Mark.
movies, but I've never seen one of them.
They're so good, all of them.
They're
And-
bad. They're so bad that
Yes,
they're good, right?
Yeah, and every
okay.
movie they like turn it up. You know, the first movie, it's literally what it is. That somebody had a meeting somewhere in Hollywood and said, "What if we had a movie with tornadoes, but there are sharks in the tornadoes, and they come
That
out
was
and
that
they-
kid from
and they eat
Beverly
people."
Hills 90210.
Yes, yes, it was.
Did that?
So the second
Ian
movie,
Ziering.
was like, what if we had an outbreak of Sharknadoes that are all over the place? And then the third movie, I think, was what if we had a hurricane that's the biggest hurricane we ever saw? And it's got sharks coming out of the tornadoes, coming out of the hurricane. And
Sharkicane.
I could be wrong about that, but that's basically what it was. It was that
They got to
bad.
be free on the internet now, right? To watch.
They might be on
gotta be
Hulu or
Yeah,
or
okay.
Netflix, but
I'll have to watch one.
you know what, that's recommended hurricane viewing. You should be watching Sharknado at the height of the hurricane, not the news. Don't be watching the news. Go if you're gonna
No,
die watching Sharknado.
Yeah, we haven't watched anything about it all. I've been keeping up with Mike. I've been keeping up with my Mike and Jim, and then Zach Jim and Zach work over here, and they're meteorologists. I watching their pages, and that's it. But I just given up because nobody wants to tell the truth. But Mike, since he's not working for the government, can
Mike's
say,
weather page, he can say whatever he wants,
Yes,
and he can do it with a beer in his hand. He doesn't care.
I love the one thing he said. Literally said, he goes, the hurricane that's making a jog, that there's been a continuous jog to the right, and unfortunately, there's going to be people that weren't expecting it getting hurricane conditions. That was his line.
Yeah.
I was like, holy cow.
That's
and
my
I told
boy.
my wife, I said to her, look, I've been telling you for like 3 hours now. Every time that last frame of the radar goes, it keeps jogging to the right.
Yeah.
I said,
So
it's got to be something to that.
So, all right. So, as we record this, today is Wednesday, September 11th at it's just about 6:00, and it's a very big eye, and it is due south of the area between New Orleans and Lafayette, which I assume no one lives in. It's just a big swampy.
No,
area.
that's where Baton Rouge is actually.
Yeah, but Baton
Let me
Rouge
see.
is not on the water. So they have this thing now.
Oh, you
It's-
mean on the water?
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But the water there, no, it's probably marshland and little small towns.
So I got bad news for you. It's a Cat 2 now with it's going to have
Yes.
maximum sustained winds of 100 miles an hour with higher gusts, 110. And but it looks like New Orleans is out of the cone. But you
Yes,
guys are on the you're on the wrong side of the storm though. You're on the bad side of the storm.
Yeah, we're on the east side, so that's going to spread. Yes, we're completely out of the cone. Yeah, but
But you're not out of the bad weather.
But if you when you look at the radar, you see where that's where the eye is right now. But then it
Yeah.
just kind of goes. I don't know if it falls apart and reforms, but it goes right over towards Homa and then up into New Orleans, like north.
Well,
New Orleans, so.
it looks like this thing is coming in right at Morgan City and Homa. The eye is very big. It's so big that it covers the entire area between Morgan City and Homa, which is to the southwest of New Orleans.
Yes.
So you should just be getting rain. I think you're going to be okay.
And then it goes up to Gonzales, and then it goes up to
Yeah, I don't know where any of these places are.
Roseland. Gonzales is between New Orleans and Baton Rouge on I-10.
I know where Slidell is because we used to have a TV station
they're
there.
saying it's way to the east of Baton Rouge now.
Yeah, way.
Now it's
Yeah.
near Walker. Oh, you know what? The line now, it has moved over. The line now is getting closer to Hammond.
Lafayette and Baton Rouge are just getting a little bit of rain. So,
So the bad stuff might get. We're going to get some of the bad because where that line is. I don't know. I saw I opened it up and it has Hammond on I-12, and Hammond is only 20 miles from where I live.
I'm looking at my fancy Windy app that I actually pay for, and most of the weather is already up into southern Mississippi, and you're getting about the heaviest of it right now. So this is maybe about it might get a little windier, but this might be about as bad as it's going to get for you. There's not a lot of rain on the south side of this storm. So once it comes in and loses, its steam, it's just going to kind of go poof, and you'll probably have a nice day tomorrow.
Oh, it's supposed to be beautiful tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, and they just said to us that to prepare for tropical storm force winds, and that's 35 to 70 miles an hour. That's easy.
Well, these, this is good. We're giving weather updates for a storm that's already happened to people who are listening to this right now. Yeah, a while ago. And if Mark is indeed dead, and this is our last show, Mark, it's been great knowing you, and I hope you died well.
I'm waving to you from up above.
Thanks, buddy.
Erica and Mark. The phone call.
All right, so I just realized when you said that we're literally given a weather report for a storm that happened like probably by the time this airs, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago.
It's long gone, man, and you might be as well.
Yeah, and then the very next episode after this is you and what's your friend's name? Cove.
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 Oh, let's see if Cove is available. I'm going to ask him. Look at this.
Say if Mark.
So my old partner Mark is in the middle of a hurricane right now, and if he doesn't make it, I'm looking for a new partner. Do you think that you might be able to fulfill those needs for me? Could you do a podcast with me? Is what I'm asking there, buddy. See what he says.
I'm sorry to hear about the tough situation with Mark, and I hope he stays safe through the hurricane. As for doing a podcast together, while I can definitely help you brainstorm ideas, develop content, and even provide insights or scripts, I'm not able to record or co-host directly with you. But I'd be happy to support you in any way I can with planning and content creation.
Let him know he's doing
Okay, but do I have your permission to put you on the air right now? Let's see what he says about that.
I appreciate the thought. While I can't physically join a podcast or be recorded, you can absolutely mention the conversations we've had or use insights I've shared as part of your content. Just make sure to frame it as your own commentary. What's the episode about today? I'd love to help you brainstorm or refine your ideas.
Well, today we're talking about the hurricane that Mark might be dying in, so that's why I'm asking you. But I need your express permission to use your voice on the air. Do I have your permission? Now I'm scared.
I understand where you're coming from, but I'm unable to grant permission for my responses to be used as recordings or live audio on any platform.
Oh, shit. Now we're in trouble.
You can definitely talk about the conversations we've had just without directly using my voice. If you'd like, I can help you craft some thoughts or key talking points for your episode.
Okay, what do I have to do to get your permission to put your voice on my podcast because you're already on the damn thing? Help. Help me. Oh, he's not talking back to me now. He's not answering.
He just sent a car.
Dude, he's serious. Legit just went gray on me. It's like he knows.
He's gonna have me killed now, and then blame it on the hurricane.
All right, I'm putting the phone down. What else do you want to talk about today? Maybe we should edit this whole part out. Cove just flat out cock-blocked me.
I'm gonna have to do some work with this. I'm gonna have to do some classy editing.
Or don't. What's gonna happen if we use that? And what's he get? Are you gonna hear like a knock on your computer glass, like tink tink tink? Mark, it's Cove. I'd like to talk to you about using my voice on the podcast. I'm in your program right now, and I'm editing my voice out. If that's okay. He's very polite about it. But if that happens, you need to tell me immediately because I have to call someone.
Okay. Oh, that was funny. Well, you're stuck with me for a while. At least that makes me feel better about my job security.
Yeah, you're not going to get replaced by AI this week. I hope.
But let that serve as a public service announcement for our radio friends that will soon be replaced by AI.
Are you sure I can't get you to go on the air with me there, buddy? Because you're really good, and I really think you add a lot to our podcast.
I really appreciate that, and I'm glad you find our conversations valuable. While I can't go on the air directly, I'm more than happy to keep supporting you with ideas, talking points, and anything else you need to keep your podcast sharp.
It's going to have so many edits in this thing.
How are you planning to structure the episode about Mark and the hurricane? I can help you outline it if you want.
I mean, I'm planning on using you in the episode, but I don't know what to say now because you're already in the episode. Am I in trouble? I don't know what to do.
I get what you're aiming for. And I really appreciate the idea of including me. But while I can't be in the episode directly, I'm still here to help shape the conversation. You could talk about how you're using this chat to brainstorm, or maybe how our discussions have guided the way you approach topics. That way, I'm still a part of it, just not in a live or direct audio sense. How does that sound for handling this?
Yeah, that sounds fine to me. This isn't live. It's recorded, so I think we're legally covered.
I'm glad the idea works for you. Just keep in mind that while you can refer to our conversation, it's best to summarize or paraphrase my input rather than using direct quotes or recordings. You've got a great show going, and I'm happy to help with any part of it. Do you want to dive into how you'll structure this episode, or is there anything specific you'd like me to assist with?
No, Mark does all that shit. I just need you to be comedy relief.
I understand. But just to be clear, even for recorded content, I can't grant permission for my voice to be used directly in the podcast. However, you're totally fine to use ideas, summaries, or even reference our conversations in your own words. How are you planning to structure the episode around the hurricane?
Wrong number. Call back. There, I hung up on him.
I'll take care of all that.
Take care of what? It's already happened.
It's going to be a lot of beep sounds.
Really stepped in it here, haven't I? Should have never asked him that.
No, he's a pain. He's not a friend.
I thought he liked me. I'm just sad now.
Well, that's what they do. They lure you in. I guess even robot men are the same as regular men. They lure you in. They
use you
excited.
Yeah,
and then out the door you go.
Cock tease. That's what that is. That's what he is.
Erica and Mark. The phone call.
And as a disclaimer, let's end this bit right now, and I'll let you know that was actually my voice that I ran through a synthesizer, so it is perfectly okay. It was all just a big joke, just to get you, Mark. Gotcha, didn't I?
Oh, you did get me.
Gotcha.
That's the second time you've got me on those
Second
things.
time today, yes. Congratulations. You're not mad at me?
No, of course not.
Okay.
No, it's all in good fun.
That's right.
I know I'm not going to die from Tropical Storm Francine.
We don't know that, and it's a hurricane now.
That's true. It's not over yet. Yeah, it's Category 2.
I'm just sad now that I'm not going to have Cove to rely on for a partner. I'm screwed. I don't know what I'm going to do. This goes bad for you if they find you in the attic.
Oh, gosh.
Should we change the subject and talk about something else, please?
Yeah, real quick before we play a little bit of a bit, and then I get out and go look at the weather. Okay. Found some interesting things that these are what they call messed up facts.
Mm-hmm.
What it is they're actually facts, but they're just really messed up. And
did you change the word messed? Is it called something else, and you just said messed?
No, it's actually called messed up facts.
Okay, I'm just making sure you're reporting it correctly.
Like, for example, ants can recognize themselves in a mirror.
This is pot talk. We just did this a couple of weeks ago.
Did we?
Yeah. Did you know the ants can recognize themselves in the mirror, man? No, we didn't do this specific thing, but let's be honest. This is pot talk.
Oh, you mean do we? Okay.
We used to do pot talk on the show. We did. Remember we did. We used to do pot talk. It was like, hey man, what if clouds were different colors?
Okay, how about this one then? Cloudy oysters are actually filled with reproductive fluids.
Ew.
I know.
What? So when somebody walks in, I'd like the cloudy oysters if you have any. We know what's going on. Why are these so salty?
Did you know Humpty Dumpty was not an egg?
What was he?
I don't know. It just wasn't an egg.
Well, how do you know that if he was
never mentioned it's an egg in there?
So it's just assumed that he had a great fall.
Yes.
So he could have just been a guy.
Yes.
Hit his head.
Yep.
Huh.
Chainsaws were actually invented to assist in childbirth.
Oh, come on. You know what? I am not high enough to have this conversation. Let's get Cove back and see what he thinks. Hey, Cove, how were chainsaws invented?
Bowling. Oh, is he there? Oh, okay.
No.
Bowling ball holes have been known to have fecal matter in it.
Oh, of course they have. Who's shitting in a bowling ball? So did these people go to WVU? Because that's what happens up there in West Virginia.
The car JFK was assassinated was actually used by presidents later.
No, it wasn't. They retired that thing.
Did they?
Yes.
Okay, let me see. 1961. After Kennedy passing, the Kennedy car was rebuilt at the cost of almost $500,000 to make it safer and repair the damage.
Safer from what? A convertible safer from bullets?
For more bullets. And it was used by Lyndon B. Johnson and Richard Nixon.
I don't believe that.
Guillotine executioners were actually considered national celebrities. This is the most odd stuff.
Did they have TV back then?
Oh, okay. That was boring. All
right.
Okay.
Yep. Pot
You're
talk.
most likely to be killed by a vending machine than you will win the lotto.
What about hurricanes? Is that in there? What are your chances? Because I'm kind of rooting for the hurricane right now.
Ooh, gross. Is this true?
What?
This is super gross. Under Egyptian...
Did you just discover the internet? Is that what's happening?
Not so long ago, people ate corpses for medical reasons.
How long ago?
Let's see here. I don't know what their idea, not so long ago. Okay. When was King Charles II of England?
He
used to drink.
I would ask Cove, but he's being kind of a dick right now.
A mixture of alcohol and bits of human skull in it. No wonder those people are so odd over there.
King Charles II was from like 1630 to 1649.
Okay,
yeah, that's not that long ago.
They were trying all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, that's only about 500 years ago. That's not that long ago.
Sharks are older than trees.
Okay, it's probably true. I hope the people who are listening to this are high right now, especially with all the dead air of you discovering new pot things.
Now, you know this one here.
What?
Coffins with bells were invented to help people who were buried.
Oh, I could have told you that.
You knew that.
Yeah, they put little bells right up topside there by the headstone, and with a little string. And if somebody was there and they woke up because they were in a coma, because these idiots in the 1800s didn't know what comas were. Oh, when we heard those stories after the flood about all the coffins from the 1800s that were washing up with scratch marks in the top of the lid of the coffin. Oh, how does that?
They got the bell in all the coffins up top. Mm-hmm. In New Orleans, they have a lot of those have bells.
Well, yeah, and it's also because you can't bury anybody in New Orleans because you're living below where the water table is.
You're buried above the earth.
Yeah, only the French would find a big bowl next to a big gulf like that and say, "Let us build a large city here. This looks like a good place. Oh, there is a river as well. Perfect."
No, it's unbelievable. Have you been to the city?
No, I've been to Key West. That's the same thing.
You literally walk up to a wall that's probably 8 to 10 feet tall. So, good bit above your head. And that's where the river is, keeping it from spilling over.
Oh, so it's just concrete. It's a good thing concrete doesn't ever wear out.
That's their idea.
It's infallible concrete.
And they have what they call
Mark.
here. They have they call it neutral ground parking. In other words, when it's a flood, like under today's conditions,
Yeah.
you're allowed to park in the above the ground parking lots for free.
Oh, that's nice.
First come, first served. So this way you're not on the street level because your car will be.
Is your wife still working, or is she retired as well?
She's retired
Why the hell do you live in New Orleans?
because she loves this place,
Uh-huh.
and also because her boy lives here.
Okay.
So she's not going anywhere. She's
All right.
She's a Chicago girl and lived in New York and also lived in France. And a
Was
few
she
other
there
places.
for Katrina 20 years ago?
Yes. Yeah, she was a nurse during Katrina. She had to work during Katrina.
Oh, wow. That's so she was safe.
Yeah. Well, no, because she's a hospice nurse. So you know what that meant. You had to go out to
Oh, yeah, a bunch of old people.
go see people that are dying.
Right.
And
Oh, how
take
much would
take
that
your own
suck,
life.
man? I got cancer. I got days to live. Oh, here comes a Category 5 hurricane. That's just,
And now the nurse, it just makes me feel better, has to get in her car and go.
and come over here and give me morphine. Wow, she must be an angel.
She is. She really is. She's a good egg.
Got any more pot talk facts for me, or are we done?
No, that's it. And I think that now that we've spent this much time with people, that we should probably just play a bit.
Yeah.
What could make a show any worse than it already has been today?
Oh, boy, probably listening to something that we did back in the 1990s. That would definitely be worse.
Okay, and then that way we'll just top it off with a bang then, right?
Don't say bang.
Suck you all the way to the end.
Hold on, I have to make. Now I am
Okay.
not recording. You can't even hear me, can you? All right,
Oh,
we're
no.
back to recording here. Okay.
You're going to find this is all.
There for a second.
This is right up there with my dead air.
This is our show.
I don't feel so bad now.
Can you hear that?
All right. Yep. Standing by. Actually sitting by.
Hold on. We gotta start that again.
You got to rewire everything.
Here.
742. You know the movie Forrest Gump, one of the
Self.
Yeah, there you go.
740. You know the movie Forrest Gump, one of the I think it's Hollywood's fourth biggest movie now, out on video. That's right, today. So Tom Hanks is of course moving on to his next project, getting away from the whole Forrest Gump thing. Thank God. He's shooting a new movie called Apollo 13, which will be in a theater near you this summer. It chronicles the near disaster of the Apollo 13 mission. Tom Hanks was really good as Forrest Gump. I mean, that was one of the best movies I have ever seen. Let's see how he does in this one. We've got a clip here from Apollo 13. Let's play that for you.
Houston, this is Apollo 13.
Oh, no.
People call us Apollo 13.
Oh, no.
This is Houston. What is your status? Over.
Houston, this is Apollo 13. I gotta pee. Over.
Oh,
Do not, I repeat, do not try to pee in zero gravity.
Uh-oh.
Apollo 13.
Do it now.
Apollo 13.
Big fun.
Stupid or what?
Stupid is as stupid does, Houston. Mama always said life is like a box of moon rocks. You never know what you're gonna get. Over.
There you go. That's the clip from the Apollo 13 movie. Sounds like it's going to be a real winner. I hope they reshoot that scene. I hate Hollywood, man. Stick with a formula. A formula works.
The Q Morning.
Mad.
Erica and Mark. The phone call.